the organizing committee, it's an honor and privilege for me to formally invite Dr. Swayam Prabha Satpathy for her plenary talk. Let me allow to introduce Dr. Satpathy. Dr. Swayam Prabha Satpathy has several years of teaching and research experience in various capacities. Currently, she is working as an associate professor in communication at Siksha or Anusandhan University in the Department of Humanities. She is also a behavioral competence developer and an LP. She has been awarded the Siksha Ratan Puraskar, Teachers Award Excellent, Teachers Excellence Award, the Best Academician Award, a special award from the Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering Research Award. She has also attended, presented papers, given keynote addresses, and chaired different sessions at many national and international forums. She has visited many countries, including the US, the UK, Singapore, and many others. She is also associated with and is the state editorial head of Shankaracharya Swami Nishalananda Saraswati Congregation at Puri in Odisha. Without further ado, I now invite Dr. Satpathy for her plenary talk. It's up to you, dear Professor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Professor Khum, for that wonderful introduction and those kind words. And a very good morning to one and all who are here. And of course, across borders, maybe we are with some kind of a time, difference. But nevertheless, the one thing that we all are looking forward through this cultural conference is that oneness of self. And this is what is my talk about. Because so I'm very pleased to meet, though virtually, with all the people who have come across and who have joined hand in this conference, and of course Professor Jai Singh, who has been very kind enough in taking the lead for this, and Thakur Das, Tarun Tapas Mukherjee. So actually, I don't feel like thanking them because we are a family. And as we get associated to people across borders, so we also we get into this extended family. So I think now we have a very large family along with us, and it's a pleasure being with all of you. And so before I start my talk, so I would just like to say that when I talk about this, I belong to Orissa, the eastern part of India, and Orissa, and the place that I belong to is Bhubaneswar, which is said to be as a temple city. So it goes without saying that is when we have, this kind of a, cultural exchange. So I think this is the topic that I could best, relate to. That is when I'm talking about this Jagannath culture. So may I please take some time to share my screen?
Please.
Just a moment, please. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Thanks a lot. So thank you for the patience. Now, this is my topic, the mystical contemplative philosophy of Jagannath cult. When I talk about, we belong to Orissa, and this Jagannath cult is something that which is very much in us. And I think it is in the entire human, human race. Because when I talk about Jagannath culture, so because as a staunch believer of Lord Krishna and Jagannath being a representative of Lord Krishna, I feel that it is the words, whatever I have written, whatever I say will be the words that I am being dictated by the Lord himself, because without his permission, without his consent, it is very difficult to talk about his grandeur. And so, coming on to the next, this is a matter of contemplation when we talk about the Jagannath culture, and humanity always, looks forward for benevolence, kindness, purity of hearts, and that's what we stand for. So, when we are contemplating, it will be surprising to know that in the 14th century, there was a member of Order of Frères Benés brings this story to Europe, that which exaggerates that there is a Hindu god, Jagannath's carriage procession, where he says that there's a cart, and everybody they self immolate themselves in the under the wheels of the chariot, and this story spreads and evolves, leading to term Jagannath, which comes in the English lexicon there, of Europe during the 19th century. And Jagannath now refers to massive, powerful entity or the vehicle of Lord Jagannath, which talks about the car festival. So Jagannath temple in Puri is famous worldwide due to its association with the term Jagannath and the Rath Yatra. So I'm sure if many of us relate to this particular God, I would not say it is religious centric, because it is beyond all religions, it is beyond all casteism, it is just a kind of a humanitarian, benevolence that we are trying to express through, and the God has taught us to be. So it is one of the Char Dhams. So we have in India 4 dhams, and this is, 4 pilgrimage places. And this is one of them which centers for Hindus along with Dwarka, Rameshwaram, and Badrinath. So these are all different kinds of dhans where there is a single entity, though in different forms. So we as Hindus, we believe in a lot of, idol worship. But at the same time, we also say that we do not, something that which when we are looking to God, we do not close our eyes. And that's what you see when you look at Lord Jagannath. So he has rounded big eyes, which is looking towards you, embracing you towards himself, and also encouraging the universal brotherhood, that which we can also see in this conference when we are talking about culturally, associating through this extended family. So the mystery and history of the temple continues to fascinate people over time. Absolutely. So I will be sometimes in between, I will tell you about some of the experiences that people have when they have, related to Lord Jagannath. So it's a spiritual journey indeed. So Jagannath Puri temple in Odisha is a beacon of spirituality and architectural marvel. Dedicated to Lord Jagannath, it is revered by devotees and history enthusiasts. The temple's architecture, rituals, and legends are deeply intertwined with Odisha's culture. So when I talk of this Odisha's culture, the people of Odisha are very foodie. And so here, the food, the culture of food and the variety of food has all come to us through this, Jagannath culture. As I said, we live this culture. It's a kind of a living, it's not a kind of a something tradition or cultural conditioning that we talk about. And with this, I would also tell you a small incident that happened. In my class there were some international students, so I was in charge of taking care of them, and making them a little accommodative to the system of our university. So, so the first thing when I entered each day, I asked, had you had your food? Are you comfortable? Are your stomachs full? Was the food good for you? So each day on asking the students, when they got a little bit, assimilated with me, they asked me that, ma'am, why do you ask these questions every time about food? So I said, yes, because that's the first thing one has to have. That is, if you are, your stomach is full, you will tend to relate. Then he said, in our country, we don't have so much of food. So meaning thereby this culture is so much imbibed in us that, when we ask, so instead of asking of any other thing, we feel that the first thing one individual needs for a healthy living is food. So main deity Lord Jagannath is believed to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, worshipped with his siblings, and famous of annual Rath Yatra, where deities are placed on grand chariots and pulled by devotees. So this is a spiritual journey which continues, and it is located along the coastline of the Bay of Bengal. It is constructed in the 12th century by King Anantavarman Chaudagangadeva, which epitomizes architecture, brilliance, and devotion. That goes without saying, and one can experience only when one is here and one can come to see, and marks the beginning of an era steeped in spirituality. Captivating facets make it a timeless wonder. So the history of the temple goes as its origins between 1078 to 1148. Present temple built in 1174 by King Ananga Bhimadeva, and legends surround temple's creation and the building of deities' images. Images depict Lord Jagannath, who is Krishna, and siblings at Balabhadra and Subhadra. So they are considered to be as the younger brother of Balabhadra is Lord Jagannath, and Subhadra is considered as an epitome of power, the goddess Durga. So the enigmatic appeal which we find here is mystical allure and enigmatic appeal we see with this Jagannath temple. Incredible, unexplained facts contribute to the temple's mystery. So we will be exploring through the mysteries of this particular temple, and these facts pose questions to the intellect of mankind. Many more mysterious stories surround the temple of Lord Jagannath. So humanity achieves welfare through benevolence, kindness, charity, and love. Core of all religion without external aspects. Accepting the religion of humanity doesn't betray one's own religion, as we understand. And best way to follow any religion is to practice humanity thoroughly. This is the teaching that we get from this Jagannath culture, which is the culture of Odisha. So the oneness and the omnipresence. So Jagannath symbolizes a unique example of humanity. Deity made from a piece of neem tree. Neem is a kind of a tree which which is which is very bitter in taste, and the bark of a tree is used to make the idol of Lord Jagannath, which we call it Daru or Mahadaru. And cult of Jagannath combines worldly and cosmic realities. So all religions of the world merged within the cult, making it flexible and open. So we have a very open culture, and we are not very rigid in our own culture. So there is a principle of equality, that is Jagannath cult based on humanity, democracy, justice, honesty, and integrity. It illustrates against conservatism, casteism, sectarianism, and other barriers. So that is why we call as Daru Brahma, because that is he has no, nothing affects him. So there is no caste, and it is because of this that he comes out every year during the Rath Yatra to meet his devotees. And the legend goes as there was a devotee as Salabega. He was a Muslim, but a very ardent devotee of Lord Jagannath. So it happened so that his father, who was a Muslim, he married to a Hindu widow, and this Hindu widow was quite in a way accommodated to their family, but all once his father Lal Beg was killed in the battle, and Sal Beg was very much injured. So what happened next is the mother, being a Hindu, she was a devotee of Lord Jagannath, and she prayed wholeheartedly to Lord Jagannath to cure his son, and to his surprise, the son was cured. Now, may it be a miracle, may it be something that which was some kind of a supernatural element that worked, and from that they were then that day Jagannath and Salbega were the best of friends, of devotee and a god. So it so happened that once, Salbega was very ill. He could not come to see Lord Jagannath in the Rath Yatra. So suddenly when Jagannath came to know about this, the chariot stopped at the front of his hut till they could show him the presence. So this extent, the universalism or the cult promotes to complete universalism. So the temple architecture is something which is very much, it is something which is very much epic, and it combines Kalinga and Dravidian styles. Intricate carvings and sculptures depict tales from Hindu epics. Mukhashala, adorned with sculptures of deities and celestial beings. Mukhashala is the entrance, which is adorned with the sculptures of deities and celestial beings. And Natya Manda features carvings being Lord Krishna's stories of life. So, if you can listen to Krishna's story, so he had a lot of stories goes as a, his dance with his gopis and a lot of legends that go. And so this Natya Mandap is the dance mandap where you can see Lord Krishna's stories of life. And so now the what intricacies and what is interesting for us to contemplate is the temple defies the power of the wind. It is a no-fly zone. You can never see a bird flying on the top of the temple. So the birds fly in across the temples, but it doesn't ever fly on the top of the temple or around the temple premises. And you will also find that the whenever the wind you can see this red flags which is over the temple, so it always flies opposite to the wind's direction. And the fact of a shadow. Now, main dome of Jagannath Temple Puri casts no shadow. So, phenomenon attributed to supernatural force of greater power and considered an architectural marvel or engineering feat. So, it is, of course, scientifically also, if you see, so it's so huge that the shadow doesn't fall on ground. So the stories goes as there is some sort of supernatural element that goes, and absence of shadow remains unsolved mystery of the temple. So continues to raise questions and conjectures. So it is also food for thought. Kitchen of Jagannath Temple Puri is the largest in the world, and it consists of 32 rooms with 250 earthen ovens. Over 600 cooks and 400 assistants prepare the food, and same quantity of food cooked daily, feeding 2,000 to 20,000 visitors. And there is no shortage or surplus of food, which is a remarkable phenomenon. And the mystery of cooking food also. Food in Jagannath's kitchen is cooked in earthen pots. Pots are placed one on top of each other. And pots which are placed on firewood, and foods cook uniformly. And you will be surprised to know that the topmost pot cooks first and the bottommost cooks last. So amazing and unbelievable phenomena, isn't it? So it also defies the laws of geography. Near Jagannath Temple Puri, sea breeze blows during the night and the land breeze blows during the sea during daytime. So reversal of normal geographical laws. So scientific mystery of the temple again. So it's an ancient soundproof chamber. So the sea is quite close to the temple and it has 4 doors, one on each direction. Main entrance, Singhadwara, that is which is called, located in the easterly direction. Sound of ocean ceases upon entering the temple, and sound of waves audible upon exiting. So I'm sorry. So engineering marvel or divine manifestation remains unexplained and enduring enigma of Jagannath Temple Puri. So you will be surprised that this, the roaring seas noise is always there when you exit the temple gates. But when you just enter the temple gates, there is no sound of the sea. So we call this as Nila Chakra, the one you can see in the picture, the wheel. Nila means blue and Chakra is a wheel made of 8 alloys, which is of Ashtadhatu atop Jagannath temple's tallest shikhar. That is the tallest point. And wheel circumference is about 36 feet. Wheel appears to face you regardless of your position. So whichever position you are in, when you look at the wheel, you feel that as if it is facing you. And intriguing phenomena adds to temple's mysteries. So there are certain legends and myths about that is its history is entwined with legends and myths. And according to Hindu mythology, Lord Jagannath, Balabhadra and Subhadra visit their aunt during their Rath Yatra. And it is at that time, before this, there is an event we call as Snana Purnima, where Lord Jagannath comes out and he takes bath with a lot of, the gallons of water are poured on him. And these deities, they fall, they have fever. And for about around 15 days, they are locked up inside with, and the treatment goes as of any individual who is suffering from fever. And after they are treated, after they are, cured of this fever, they come out of their temples, and that is the Car festival when they go to their aunt's house. So Rath Yatra draws millions of pilgrims seeking blessings and a glimpse of the deities. Annual procession is a grand event at the temple, and it creates an ambience of transcendence. Temple is known for inclusive nature, welcoming people of all backgrounds. It fosters unity and harmony. Inside, social distinctions fade, all are equal in divine's eye, and ethos of inclusivity resonates with Lord Jagannath's teaching of universal love and acceptance. So the preservation and legacy of Jagannath Temple preserved through shared responsibility. So it is of the responsibility of the government as well as the Archaeological Survey of India and local authorities. They work together to safeguard temples' architectural marvels and efforts to protect temples' historical significance. So, if I am to discuss about Lord Jagannath and his mysteries, his stories, it's a timeless journey. So, legacy of Jagannath Puri Temple preserved through Jagannath Puri offers a timeless journey into Odisha's spirituality and cultural heritage. Architectural grandeur and rich rituals make it a heaven for seekers and devotees. Inclusive ethos welcomes people from all backgrounds, and temple visit is a soul stirring pilgrimage, connecting you with the divine beyond time shared responsibility. So, Archaeological Survey of India and local authorities work to safeguard temples' architectural marvels and efforts to protect temples' historical significance. Jai Jagannath. So that's all from my side. So just a kind of intervention of knowing others culturally, that we are how much culturally dependent, and all of us aim at one thing of universal brotherhood. Namaste. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Swayam Prabha Satpathy, for enlightening us on the mystical contemplative philosophy of Jagannatha cult. I sincerely believe all the participants have enjoyed the talk and got the insights on Jagannatha cult. As she has rightly pointed out, Jagannatha cult is based on humanity, democracy, justice, honesty, and integrity. She also explores Jagannatha Puri temple as a beacon of spirituality and architectural marvel. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the talk. And if we take any questions or any responses from the audience.
Yes, sir. The session is open.
Yes.
Namaste. May I ask the question, please?
Please, please.
Could you shed some light on the Garbhagriha of the temple? I have been to Jagannath Puri temple, and it was I felt very affected by it when I came out of it. And of course, although the food that was offered to us as prasad was of very small quantity, it was even a morsel of it was filling. After that, it was a wonderful experience. But I would really like to know a little bit more about the Garbhagriha, if you could.
See, as I said, each place of this temple has a lot of legend, a lot of story, and I will not be able to justify it though. But yes, as far as my knowledge goes, the Garbhagriha where the Lord resides is all based on, there are, we call it as saligrams. Saligrams are the polished, there, and it is also related to Nepal because it's found
Yes.
in the river there, which is very much polished, and those, stones are very sacred too. And it's all when we go into the Garbhagriha, we are usually, people, though they are allowed sometimes on special occasions to get inside, but we usually avoid because, you are stamping over each saligram is a representative of Lord Krishna. And we say they are the Chalanti Pratima of Lord Krishna. So when you step into that, so again, it's a sort of a belief that you're stepping over Lord Krishna. So that is why, we do not get into, but yes, but the feeling, the connection that you can. So wherever you are in the temple, you will always have a connection to the deities residing in the Garbhagriha. My knowledge is very little when I talk of this Jagannath cult. So as I said, I will not be able to justify each and every questions towards it, because whatever I'm saying today is as much as knowledge Lord has given me today to discuss. And so that is how it is. And so we have a lot of literature over this, about this Jagannath culture, the stories that is associated to each and every grahas which is present, the kitchen, the, mukhashala, everything which is there.